Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. It is a hot windless day in Idaho today, and I have the Hubsan Ace Pro, and we're out at Julius Kleiner Park, and I thought, well, you know, what can I do with this Hubsan Ace that maybe I can't do with a DJI Air or Air 2S, a drone like that? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is a Waypoint mission. Hubsan has built waypoints into this drone and most of their drones. So let's quit messing around. Let's put this guy up in the air and let's do a waypoint mission with it. Okay, so I've got the app fired up and we started a screen recording so that we can record this. It gives us the device status list, which I really like. That's something that Hubsan does that I really like, because it tells you, it's really kind of your part of your pre-flight checklist, and it tells you whether it needs compass or gyro calibrations. It does not, as you can see there. That optical flow state is while it's on the ground is always going to say low quality because it's sitting on the ground. And yeah, looks like our we've got a freshly formatted card in there, SD card, so so we're good to go. Let's get out of there. And one of the things that you cannot do is, I don't think, you can look at your camera settings until you're, it's in photo mode, and I can't change that until I'm in the air. So let's do an auto takeoff, and I'm going to do that on the app, and I'm going to get out of the way here so that you can see it on the Action 2 camera. So there's the little drone, and it's a noisy little guy. Let's go in and let's switch it over to video mode, and let's take a look at our video settings here. And yeah, 4K 30, and that's where we're at. We're going to keep it in 4K 30. Let's go back into that mode, and let's click on the three dots there. And yeah, so we are in full auto here. We've got grid lines on, HDR is on. That is exactly what we want. So let's start recording right now. Let's turn this guy around, and as usual, I bring him in so that we can take a look at it. And we've got obstacle avoidance off, so we should be able to get this guy in pretty close here to the camera. So there you can see the drone there. And you can hear how noisy it is. Here, I'm dropping it down just a little bit, rocking it back and forth so you can see that gimbal working. But anyway, let's quit messing around. Let's get out here and do our droney. So I'm going to back it up. And again, I do have obstacle avoidance off. So let's turn it around the other way here. And yeah, I think we can get pointed off in a direction here. There's no people, few trees. We're gonna have to go high pretty quickly here. You guys have seen me do dronies in this spot before, so you're kind of familiar with what we're doing. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. And off it goes. And again, I'm gonna tell you, you look at those trees, and on the video, it looks a lot closer than it really is. So we're going to keep pushing out here a little ways. And you can see there's a bunch of folks at that picnic shelter right there. Let's yaw around and take a look at the pond here and the rest of the park. Pick that gimbal up just a little. One of the things, the other day when I flew the drone, the horizon was a little bit crooked, but it seems pretty darn good today. Trying to get adjusted right on that rule of thirds. Well, I guess I can see a little bit of a, yeah, definitely we got a little bit of a crooked horizon, but it's not terrible. And so maybe that's something that we'll have to adjust. The other thing I'm going to say is I have not done a gimbal calibration with this drone yet, so that might be something we need to do. And I definitely am seeing that crooked horizon now. In fact, let's go in and see if we can adjust it here. And you can see what I'm doing at the bottom there. That seems to be making it worse, so let's go the other way. Yeah, I definitely was going the wrong way there. So that, to me, I'm at -9, whatever that means, and that looks pretty good. So let's see how that. Let's see if it holds that for the rest of the flight here. Okay, so we want to do a waypoint mission. So I'm going to click on the left-hand side. You'll see that X, or I guess it looks like a little drone. Waypoint mode, we're going to engage there, and we're going to go into waypoint mission planning. You can save things, you can put them in memory, but we're going to plan. And look at this, it gives us a nice little map of the park here. We're gonna go out a little ways, so I kind of squeezed the park together there, and so anyway, I'm going to add. And I'm going to use dots. So you can draw a line, but I'm going to click the one that has dots next to it. And I should be able to do that just by touching the screen here. So we're going to put the first one right close to where it's at, and then let's go out over the let's go out over the pond here. There's the second one. And the third one over the other pond. And let's go back to just this side of the pond, and then we can go back kind of where the drone is at, pretty close to where it's at now. That gives us 5 points, and focus here. That is, I think you can set a focus point for the drone to look at if you wish, but in this case, let's not do that. Let's just leave it as it is. Whoops! I did a sixth. I touched the screen there and did a sixth one. So, yeah, that's good. We'll leave it there. So now what we need to do, we can upload. I can't remember if I think you can click on the waypoints. No, you can't. I thought you could set altitude by clicking on the waypoints, but I'll look into that some more. But anyway, let's upload. So we clicked upload to the drone, and it said upload successful. And now all we have to do is click on start there. And it's about to start its waypoint mission. So yeah, it warns you to make sure there's no obstacles in the way, and we definitely are. So it's heading to its first waypoint right now. Let's yeah, and we're just looking there how you can change the maps. But what I want to do is get back into the photo mode so we can see what the drone is doing, FPV, and there we go. So there we go. There is we're watching the drone in action on FPV here, and it's on its way to its second waypoint, which is right in the middle of the pond there, and then it's turning, going to its third waypoint. And the drone is just executing it perfectly, and it was that easy. You saw that took me just seconds to set that up and engage it. So pretty simple operation. God, what a beautiful day out at the park, huh? And look at this, it's holding that horizon perfectly. So we manually adjusted the horizon, and it seems to be holding it well. So that's good news. I was a little concerned about that. So it's kind of cool that they put that adjustment in there. Yeah, now it's spun around, and I can see, I don't know, the horizon may be tilted the other way just a little, but now it's coming right back. And so that happens on a quick on a quick yaw, so that's not unusual. And we're going to, let's see, I can't remember. Let's click and see here. Waypoint number 4 right now. And it should turn around here and head back to number 5, which we originally had set up as our last waypoint. and once it hits 5, it's going to go to 6, which, as I recall, 6 is out over the pond again. So, and yeah, I can hear and see the drone up there. It's just moving right along. And here it's going to its final waypoint. Right out over the pond. Boy, you can see what a beautiful day in Idaho today, huh? And it's hot too. One of the things I noticed about this drone is it only, like right now, it's only got 12 satellites, and I can tell you if I was flying the Mini 3 out here, it would have well over 20 satellites. So GPS is not not the strong point on this guy. Although the drone is holding itself in space perfectly, so 12 is evidently enough. And it is, I have seen the horizon kind of move around a little bit, and then it seems to correct itself. So, that's just evidently something we see on this drone. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one, right? Let's leave it sit right where it's at there, and let's go back, click on that X again, and let's go into waypoint mode one more time. Waypoint mission planning, and you can see where the drone is sitting. So let's. What I'm wondering is, I thought that there was a way that you could. Well, you know what? Let's try something. There's a way that you could just draw a circle. So if I click on this one that's just a line on the pencil, I should be able to just draw a mission on the map here. So, whoops, now that's not what I wanted to do. We are going to cancel that. So, delete. Yeah, clear all the waypoints. So I was actually just trying to move the map out a little bit so I could get a little bigger. So we're going to click Add here, and we're going to click on that one with the single line, and we should just be able to draw a waypoint mission. So let's do that right now. And you can see I'm kind of drawing a big circle here and taking it right back. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I don't know. It kind of, the way it's set up the waypoints, yeah, I don't know if I care for that. But the other thing that I want to look at is I thought that we could click on an individual waypoint. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I just didn't do it right before. We can set the height. So let's do this. And it hover time for 2 seconds. So this first one, we're going to set the height. Let's move it up to, well, that's too high. I was thinking about 40 meters, so that's going to be good. 40.7. Let's have it hover there for 5 seconds. And then let's go to waypoint number 2. Well, maybe I need to get out of that first, and then let's click on waypoint number 2. Maybe that's a little too close for my big fat finger, so I'm going to go down to 3. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then we're going to, this one, let's set the height up to, well, that's way too high. I was going to say 50 meters, and let's hover for 8 seconds. So that's how you do that on those waypoints. You just hold your finger on them, and you can set the height and how long you want it to hover. You can also set a focus, so maybe we'll try that too. Let's go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to set the focus back here towards us. Well, maybe. There we go. So you see that focus, it's kind of towards where I'm at. So it should keep the camera on that the whole time. So you can set a point of interest, you can set the height, and you can set how long it hovers. So let's upload. And let's go ahead and click Start and click OK. And let's watch the drone here as it goes to its, it's going to go to its first location. And you can see it is keeping its point of interest right where we set the focus at. So it's going to fly this whole mission with the focus on us. And we're down to 43% battery. We should have just enough battery to get this done. But I like how you can set a point of interest on where you want it to focus, and then set the height for the individual. So yeah, battery level at 40%, and there we go. It's at that 40 meters that we told it to go to, and now it's going to it's dropping back down to 30 meters on that going to waypoint number 2 now, and it's keeping the look on us. So yeah, it's back down to 30 meters. So now it's going to go over to waypoint number 3, and as you can see, it's keeping its focus right on us, all right, where we set the focus. So what you could do is, if you had a point of interest that you wanted to stay focused on, you could set the drone to keep a focus on that, and it's giving us a GPS. Yeah, we were down to like 12 satellite or 10 satellites there for a second. That's what I'm just going to tell you. That's definitely a weak point of this drone, is that GPS, because I've flown a lot of drones here without any problems with GPS, and I guarantee you, if I had the Mini 3, it may even have over 30 satellites here. But anyway, so there we are. We're almost to number 3, and I think we set that to sit there for like 8 seconds when it got to number 3. And it's still keeping that focus right where we told it to, that point of interest that we set in the waypoint. So pretty handy little feature on the Hubsan Ace Pro. So I like it. Pretty darn cool. So now it's going to go to waypoint. It's sitting here for like 8 seconds, and then it'll start. And as you saw, it also gained in that altitude. We had it up about 50 meters. So now it's going to be dropping back down to that 30 meters that we originally had set for its last waypoint, and that is number 4. When we get to number 4, we're down to 32% battery now, so we won't mess around. We'll bring the drone in and land it. And let's see, let's bring the map up so you can see where that's at. It is almost to number 4. Number 4 is right in the middle of the pond. And there it is, waypoint mission complete, and it held the focus on us the whole time. So, okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and do a return to home, and I'm going to do that on the app. Excuse me. So I'm going to click on that little downward arrow on the left-hand side, and takeoff points where we want to come to. We're going to click OK. And it's going to go up to its return to home height and come back to us. And let's try that function button twice. Yeah, that did it. No, I thought that might have turned off beeping. Okay, I'm going to hold it down. Yeah, that stopped the beeping. Hold that function button down and it'll stop the beeping. Okay, I'm going to stop recording here so that the drone, I don't know that you necessarily have to do that, but to get precision landing with this guy, I know on other Hubsan drones you have to turn off recording, and it's telling us data preparation. So let's see if it'll find the, the grass is fairly short here. We're just going to let it land, but let's see if it'll, yeah, it's searching for apron. And let's see if it finds it, you know. Oh, look at there it sees it, yeah. It sees it, so we might get it here. and you guys can see it on the Action 2 video here. It's zoning in on it. I think we're going to get it, guys. We're going to get a precision landing. Down it comes. And yeah, not quite. So we got the nose in the grass here, and the motors are still running because I think it doesn't know, it thinks it's still in the air. So let me see if I can turn off those motors. There. So what I did to shut off the motors there is I put both sticks down and out, and that turned off the motors. So because it was half on the pad and half in the grass, it wasn't going to shut off the motors. But I'm saying that's pretty damn close. And if I'd had a bigger landing pad, this is actually a fairly small landing pad, it would have made it. So let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the Hubsan Ace Pro. Man, that was a great flight, and the Waypoint missions worked perfectly. I apologize, I kind of stumbled through part of it there because I couldn't remember exactly how you adjusted the height and the loitering time at each waypoint. But anyway, we stumbled through it, and you saw how it's done and how to set the point of interest when you want it to keep the camera on the point of interest. I kind of like the waypoints where it's pointed straight ahead, and we did that with the dots initially, and it just executed it perfectly. And then the second one where we kind of drew with the finger. Now, I'm going to say that was a little, it didn't exactly do the circle that I had intended it to do. So I think you're going to be better off just individually placing the waypoints yourself a dot at a time. However, that point of interest thing is really cool. Being able to have the drone raise and lower in altitude is cool. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm going to tell you, this Hubsan Ace Pro, it's just heads and tails the best drone that Hubsan has ever produced, in my humble opinion. Like I said, I was a big fan of the original Hubsan Zeno. Not that it didn't have problems, but it was $300 at a time when any other 4K GPS camera drone was $1,000, and so it brought a lot of value to the table. And you know, when they got it sorted out, it worked pretty good. Then the other one that I've always liked, and I still like, is the Hubsan Zeno 2 Plus. And I'm not sure they even produce that anymore. I'm sure it's probably available in some places. That's a great drone. It's a bigger drone, and it works well. But then this guy, I'm telling you, this Ace Pro is the best drone that has ever come out of Hubsan. It just does its job. I want to mention the horizon. You know, we had a little crooked horizon there, so I manually adjusted it, and it seemed to hold it pretty good. Now, I saw a couple times on the yaw where it would get off ever so slightly, but it was such a small amount. When you're just looking at the video without the grid lines, you're probably not even going to see it. So that seemed to work pretty good. And as I said, I also want to add, I have never done a gimbal calibration with this guy, so I should probably do it before I fly it again. Hey, one more thing. So the Hubsan Ace Pro, you cannot, if you are in the US, do not buy this drone because you cannot activate it. In the US, Hubsan markets their drones through EXO, and the EXO Blackhawk 2 is the one, Blackhawk 2 Pro is the one you're going to want. It's essentially the same drone. If you're in Europe, if you're in Asia, if you're in South or Central America, yeah, absolutely, you can buy this drone and have a lot of fun with it. But again, in North America, you won't be able to activate it. So just wanted to give you that heads up. In any case, I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.